Welcome back to another episode of Alterra Spoilers. Now, let's actually check. Spoilers. Now, let's actually check. Spoilers. Oops. Let's make sure that everything is working, which I think it is. Yes, there we go. Okay, our screen is actually up. Today we're going to have another go at the logo, and this time we're going to try and learn some Inkscape basics to go along with it, such as learning how to actually layer things, which a number of my friends were disappointed to learn that I hadn't properly done. But in my defense, I also haven't learned how to layer things yet. And I also thought I would have a little fun with this one, since Alterra Spoilers is more lighthearted, more relaxed, and I've gone ahead and thrown on a cape, because why not? You know, this is a spoiler session with the DM. Let's actually go and have some fun with it, throw on a cape as we learn how to properly use Inkscape. So for those of you who were here previously, this is kind of the mock-up design that we get. As some of you may notice, it's a little bit smoother. Somebody very helpfully kind of cleaned it up a bit. And we're just going to play around with this, also trying to properly layer things as we go about it. So yeah, first I have to actually learn how to properly do stuff. I think the first thing I need to do is actually separate this out again, because this is all one singular thing. So let's have a look at that. Alright, so I want to use some sort of separating tool, and also this cape is going to at some point get on my nerves. Let's see if I can tidy this up so it's not actually hampering me. Per usual, I've yet to figure out how to actually put music on the stream, so do load up some nice quiet jazz in the background, which I think I might actually do. And sit back and relax so we can get this going. Okay, let's get a little bit of music in, at least my background. I don't actually think it will translate to the stream, but let's find out. Do. Let's get this on the go.
Your work can feel much smoother with Monday.com WorkOS.
Okay, if I...
This smooth. All you need to do to get started is choose one of our templates.
Ooh, okay, I think that actually does come through on the stream. Fascinating. Okay, well, if anyone's listening and wants to confirm if they can also hear jazz in the background, that would confirm my suspicions there. But for now, let's just drive on through. Okay, so it's just transitioning. It's just transitioning. If I wanted to transform some of this, how do I make layers? Right, we've got filling and stroking. We've got stacking of objects in a drawing. So I guess it's the order. What does this mean? Okay. So Z order. The term refers to the stacking order of objects in a drawing. So it sounds like layering. And I can drag them over or under using the Alt mouse keys. Or, yeah, mouse keys. How do I create layers? Okay, Inkscape layers. Let's go look. How do I do it? Alright, play a very important role for generating a user-friendly environment. Yeah, I understand the concept. By default, you will have a layers panel on the left side of the user interface. Surely that means the right side. Yeah, because here's my layers over here. Interesting. If I actually what's the best way to go about this? Because I want to adjust it. So the best way is probably to segregate it. Alright, other panel again from this list. You can open the list by clicking an arrow key. So this is our background. We want to create this into individual pieces. How do we go about doing that? Yeah, because I want to separate them. So how do we separate them? Select the logo, select path, break apart. Okay. So let's give this a try. Our Linkscape will actually work, and we want to do break apart. Okay, then what? Okay, so we can, no, that's fine. Right, go back there, yeah. This is the problem with having so many applications open at once. Control-Shift-K. The result will be a solid circle. Maybe it doesn't recognize it as splitting it. Maybe you already need an object that can be split. Okay. So let's have a look here. If I go here, go to object, this wasn't working how I anticipated. What's this? Control-Shift-K. If I want to Does that do anything, or does that just keep it as a similar image? No. Our camera died. Fascinating. Okay, I can figure this out. I just wish that it wouldn't be so dramatic. Because it's viewing it as one object, but there must be a way to break the object apart. I'm determined to find this. Create and edit meshes. Okay. I want to use the path operations. Okay, you can also slice objects in landscape using a freehand lines rather than straight lines. To do so, grab the freehand lines tool. Oh, not you. Shortcut P. Oh, interesting. That, for some reason, only creates a single line. How do I create nodes with that? So surely it's this one I want then, right? Because I want to cut it out. So if I do that, okay, now here's, I can just cut this up. I mostly want to learn this so it'll be useful in the future when I need to actually cut things. I didn't technically need to do it for this one, but I want to bring this down. I'm just going to cut over this because I just want a rough outline shape. Okay, so we're just going to bring this around as neatly as we can. We're going to see how neatly I can actually get this as we drag it around. We just want to get the shape. I also decided that while I like the basic design on this, I think the asymmetry of the A is sufficient to kind of get the feel of Alterra without having the asymmetry of the actual flame background as well, so I want to change that. Just make the flame maybe a little bit more symmetrical, and just having the slanting A I think would be enough. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna slowly bring this around. And we can cut out a little donut in the middle of the A. So let's continue to kind of bring this around. Bring it up here. Need to figure out what this A is actually called, what typography it is. I'm just gonna too worried about it getting smooth. Like I said, we can always try and polish up and around it a little bit later. There we go. Okay, not bad. We actually managed to get it. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I actually have no idea. As you can totally see, I'm entirely a novice. Also, welcome! So let's see, if I move this... Is it actually... Okay, so I've got the outline of it. So how does one cut it? Interesting. How do I do the actual slicing? Alright, back to the drawing board. Halfway through there at least. Figured out how to actually draw it, but how then do I cut it? Division path operator. Okay. So should be... If I bring this back a little bit. The system will actually bring it back a little bit. Come on, undo. Too much. Alright, keep the actual outline. Alright, if I use a division path, would that split it? Alright. No. How do I break this? Should just be the division. Then what? Clearly it doesn't slice into it. So what am I missing? No, it should be the division path. And that should slice into the object. Is there a step I need to do before that? Project a path. Then divide. Does that work? No, still just an outline on top. That's what it said to do. This first. Just periodically, for some reason, my camera loses focus. Weird. Okay. So I can create a duplicate of Control D. It doesn't actually explain how to slice the object. If I want to slice it using my free hand... I have to select both objects? Right. So if I do this, and then do a division, does that cut it? Let's find out. Well, it does something. No. How do I select both objects? Okay, there must be a special way to actually select both objects. Let's find out. Select both the line and the square. Okay, so I need to figure out how to both select both. You know, I swear I used to once know how to do that. Use the Alt key. Okay, so slightly different. Whoop. As you can see, my cape is already starting to fall off. Yeah, cape's gonna go now. It was fun while it lasted. Right, what are we trying to do? We're trying to figure out how to actually select both and then perform a division. It's a little bit trickier than it seems. So if I control... Okay, so I do this. I highlight both of them. If I control click... No, because see, then it just switches. It doesn't actually select both. That's my current problem, is it doesn't select both. How does one not select both? Division, division, division. What they say about insanity. If you just keep trying, eventually you'll succeed. Oh, no. Go back there. You know, I'm gonna also maybe try and tighten this cup a little bit more. Let's kind of bring this in a little bit, just to make it a little bit smoother. Just gonna adjust this, bring down the line a bit. And for example, we can see it here. Just gonna bring this out a little bit. We bring this out a tad. Just wanted to match what we're going for here. bring this in a little bit. Okay, what are we gonna want to bring this to a little bit in? Just bring this up to here. Kind of bend this out a little bit. What up down here? Bend this just a little bit out of here. I need to work on my casual talk. Which is actually quite difficult to do when you're trying to focus on what you're actually doing here. Oh no, see that's too far out. You know, I'll just undo it. It's probably just easier. Okay, bend this out a little bit more. Alright, so in my pursuit to have far too many projects on the go, I came up with kind of a wild project idea for the future at some point. I've been thinking about what else I want to do for this channel, and also just get back into the habit of actually speaking a bit more. And one of the futures project I was wanting to work, because I've been playing around with Godot a little bit, is the possibility of, because inside Alterra, we have something called Fey-Wildrian chess. Or maybe not Fey-Wildrian chess. What is it? Diswild, Fey Shadow Wild chess. I think it's Shadow Wild chess. I'm trying to remember what kind of combination of words we used. We have something that's effectively just a... I think it's... No, I'm gonna go with Feywild. It's the best one I can think of right now. Or Shadow Wild, Feyfell, Fey Shadow. Yeah, we have a version of Fey-Wildrian chess, and something I was wondering about the possibility of is Fey-Wildrian is some form of version of regular chess, but with some form of magic mechanic in it, just for the fun of it, just to see what would happen. Let's put this back. Oh no, don't want to put it back like that. I was trying to think, how would that actually work, right? Because we have a number of like magical card games, and how much could you get it to mimic effectively the D&D like spellcasting classes, but as if they were tacticians on like a battlefield, and we're using their spells in the actual chess game to help you, such as polymorphing either an opponent's rook into a pawn or something, or vice versa, upgrading your own pawn into a creature temporarily. And then what would you have with that? Because obviously you'd have a card system, right? So it'd be like it'd be chess mixed with a card game. This isn't actually highlighting anymore. But then would you have some sort of, would it be restricted to one card per turn? Would you have some form of resource system, like you have with Hearthstone, for example? You have mana, where they only can cast so many kind of spells per day, or like per turn, before their mana increases. Kind of similar to, I guess, leveling up, where they get more and more spells. So you could almost mimic it like you would a like new wizard joining the beginning of an army, or beginning the beginning of like a war campaign, and then slowly during that war campaign they actually level up and gain access not only to more mana slots, or more mana, which would be the equivalent of spell slots, but they also learn new spells and are finally able to kind of make use of spells they've previously known or have had in their hand, for example, with their new capacity to actually cast those spells. And would this be fun, right? Because we're talking about a game here. That's kind of, well, it's all fun to kind of do stuff just for the hell of it. And to be fair, that's mostly all the reason I need, right? I also kind of wanted to see how entertaining could it be. I kind of want to round this a little bit more as well. So we're going to bring this out, kind of pull this in a little bit. How's that looking? Oh, I kind of want to bring this in. It's mostly just curving the edges at this point, right? Oh, nice. Okay. I'm getting there. Still don't know how to actually divide it or cut. But when I do, I'll have learned the crucial skill of actually being able to trace it out at least. Alright, so yeah, that was my idea. And now I think more about it, I guess a mana-like system like Hearthstone might be ideal. Pull this up here. Because I think it does simulate that, or simulates that kind of leveling up through a war campaign. It's a little kind of like mini D&D campaign in like a chess game. And since I don't think I'd ever actually do it physically, it'd mostly just be an online program. Come on, pull this out a little bit. Oh. Is that it? No, it's kind of pulled out a little bit too much. You can always just zoom in a little bit. Problem is these lines are a little bit too thin against the backdrop. I don't actually know if you're clicking on them correctly. There we go. Just want to bring these in dad. Just bring that up. Gonna bring this in. That's why I'm probably just better just going around it to look for any discrepancies. We'll come back to... Okay, what's going on there? What have I... I seem to be unable to not unclick it. Alright, there we go. I'm not quite sure what just happened there. Okay, bring this in a little bit just to contact that. Gonna bend this in, pull this out. And... Alright. Bring this in a little bit. Bring this up. At that same time, can I bring this calf in? Then we just want to round off the edges here. Okay, just gonna grab this, pull this out, kind of tuck that in, pull this out a little bit, bring that in, round off the heel. That's effectively what it is, isn't it? Maybe tuck in this little bit of ankle here. Okay, up we go, up the leg. Gonna bring, let's see, I want to actually bring these in first before doing this, otherwise I'll just end up with having to correct it later. And unbend it. Yeah, see what I mean? By bringing this in, I actually need to bring this back out. I need to make sure to actually do the edges first. Okay, bring this in. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of tuck this about, curve off the arm. Get a nice rounded shape. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of blocky, but just around it like a little bit here. There we go. Just kind of bring this in a little bit, maybe. Okay, getting there. Just the other half to do now. Alright, so, sorry, I got distracted there by just trying to get this all kind of lined up here. So yeah, Feywildrian chess. Could be fun, could be a little bit overcomplicated. Trying to think, so obviously we'd already have the chess rules, right? So you'd only really need to code in the cards. And then code in their effects on the actual game pieces. Which, in theory, should be enough, because most of the time it'll just be either movement-based or transformation-based. Or, I guess, destruction-based. Ooh, or resurrection-based. You can actually have it so that you resurrect a character. That could be fun. Or frustrating, depending on how much you like chess. So I guess at that point, the question is, how diverse do you get that card set, right? Because with D&D, you have the different classes. Come on. Or the different subclasses of wizard. Do you kind of go over ambitious and attempt to make different card sets for different wizard subclasses? Or at least like have, I guess you can kind of sort this out with maybe like a wizard special ability or something. Because even in the D&D subclasses, while there are different classes, they all can pull from the same spell list. So I guess you can mimic that. Plus, as like a experimental kind of project, you also don't want to overcomplicate it too much. So I think those one card set. Just checking if that's everything. Would make it much easier to kind of program as well from a coding perspective. Or even not necessarily that, it mostly just help cut down on design. So you're not spending forever designing like 20 different 20 different card effects. Okay, right, so we've at least kind of thingied this out a bit. I want to just fix this because it's bugging me. Yeah, that'll do. And now we need to actually figure out how to cut it. Which in theory should be as simple as just selecting both and dividing. But that's kind of the problem, isn't it? Okay, let me try actually selecting this properly. Okay, and then if I select this... It's a different alt, maybe? No. Swear to God, there's a tool here to select both. Oh. Now if I go to object, no, path, and division, did that work? One way to find out. I don't think it did. What am I not doing right here? I guess I'm both selected, so in theory that should be it. Yeah, so just divide them. You have them actually be separate things. What's so difficult about that? Maybe break? Break apart. No. Okay, we'll figure this out eventually. It even takes me the whole damn stream. What am I doing here? Select individual objects, select several objects by just clicking upon it. Slice object. See, this will just take me back to what I've already seen though. It doesn't actually tell you what to then do with it. Select both the line and the square. Then perform a division path operated by navigating to path division. And yet, that isn't what happens. Alright, we'll give that a second to respond as it's currently stopped. Was it control slice? How would I even know? Anyway, okay, what am I doing? Having a moment. Might take a quick 5-minute break there. Come back to this in a second. Alright, that's where we're going to stop for a second and we'll be back in 5 minutes.